And I'll do a little video too. Everybody for coming out. I just wanted to get a little look of everybody. We did do, they had some sort of official veterans luncheon or something, but I just wanted to do something to beautify the memorial that we have here. So thanks again to Olander Florist. They gave the Historical Society a good deal on the flowers for $100. And then I know one of the ladies put a memorial, a little something for her father. So we just want to we have one of the veterans here with us today. But thank you to all of our veterans who are still alive and who are no longer with us for their sacrifice for that we can live in a country where, even though we often don't feel like we have the freedoms or quality of life in Harvey that we desire, at least we can still fight for them, and we have the opportunity to make our city better. So yeah, would anybody like to share something that they're grateful for on Veterans Day related to veterans?
Well, I would just like to say thank you to the veterans, because their families had to.
Right.
They were a big part in it too, but I thank the veterans because I'm able to stand here and be free because of them, and for the continuing armed services that are protecting us now. I'm very grateful, and I bless them in Jesus' name. Oh, thank you.
Yes. And I should say to thank, I'm trying to think of our relatives, two of my great uncles that served in World War II who have now passed away, Uncle Frank and no, Uncle Dew wasn't in the war. Who was the other?
Yes, he was.
Uncle Dew was, okay. Yeah, Uncle Frank and Uncle Dew. So they were from Lincoln Avenue. They grew up, so they served in World War II. My grandfather did not because he had an injury, but he was here in the factories in Harvey where they were making munitions. If you all did not know that, there was lots of tank sort of related things and all sorts of munition related things that they were making here in Harvey. And I can't think. Right, yes. Oh, yes. I have several uncles that served in Vietnam as well. One of our cousins, one of the Wasso brothers of the folks that had the grocery store, served in Vietnam, and he really paid a price that a lot of our Vietnam vets did. He had a very difficult life coming back, and he was never the same. It was just a very challenging time for him ever since he went to Vietnam. So that's something that we also keep in mind. I'd love to see if anybody knows of any things like that. The lady at Olander said that they do things to help veterans, trying to help find them homes, things like that. I mean, we have a lot of veterans in Harvey now, a lot of young even veterans. I'd love to see us make these houses that need to be fixed up, make them available for the young veterans that need a place to live, So anybody else wanted to share about family?
In World War II. All right. And then my uncles and my brothers, my last brother that passed away was in Iraq.
Oh, wow.
All the rest of them was Army people. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, they were all in the Army, and my father was a World War II vet. So he's deceased now, but I'm very grateful for the time that he did have and spent.
Excellent.
Oh, well, I got something to say.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll get
So-
you on your camera too.
I also want to let y'all know that he came on live. He used to be alderman of the 6th Ward, Keith Price. He's an Army veteran.
Oh,
A lot of
okay.
people don't
I didn't know
that.
that. Okay.
He's an Army veteran. But yeah, my dad fought in the Korean War. I have my little brother, Afghanistan. I know some uncles. My grandfather on my mom's side was World War II. He was a Buffalo soldier in Germany. But also, a lot of people don't know this, but when I used to work at Ingalls, I found out that the tunnels that they have under the ground was for Wyman and Gordon, because they used to build things for the Army, the tanks and
Yes.
the jets and all of that, whatever. And so they made that tunnel. This is what I was told by a nurse that worked there. She said that they built those tunnels under the ground so that if anyone got hurt, they could, instead of them rushing, happened to fight the street, they would just go under the ground and bring them right up to the hospital. So we have history here in Harvey. Also, what else? Park Forest. A lot of people don't know this, but Park Forest was built for the veterans. I think it was after
a plan.
Vietnam, right?
No, after World War II. You're
World
right.
War II,
It was a
right.
planned community.
Yeah, it was a planned
for
community,
veterans and their families.
For the veterans to come home, to be able to live, and I guess promise them the homes that they were promising them. So we South Suburbs have a lot of history here too for the veterans, and there is also, like you mentioned, there is help with veterans. They do help a lot of the veterans to help them with housing, with even with the PTSD, any medical injury, family, like spouses, children, things like that. So, I'll get that information so that I can give it to Ryan.
Yeah.
And then we can, post it. We can try to pass some of this stuff out.
Because we would love to be, for Harvey to be a friendly, welcoming place for veterans of all ages. And
yeah. Because, the one thing about our veterans, a lot of them that do go into war, when they do come home, with issues. And even if you can't notice it right then, they do have issues. A lot of them do. Like I said, my little brother went through it.
yes.
Coming from Afghanistan, he went through it for like 2 years. Oh my God, we couldn't really get no sleep. He was sleeping for only like 2 hours. He would be up for 4 hours, and that means he was like up and down the stairs. He was smoking cigarettes. He was smoking like 3 packs a day. Then once he'd gotten over that, he started. Oh, that's just a notification. Once he had gotten over that, it had became the drinking had started. I mean, he was passed out on the floor half the time because the PTSD and the things that he saw, the things that he just could not unsee. So we have to take that in consideration too. So a lot of these vets, people that you see on the street that's homeless or that's in drug addiction or alcohol addiction, a lot of them are veterans. So we have to really start, trying to find a way to bring them in and fit them back into the communities. So if anybody out there is watching, if you know any resources or whatever, please get in contact with myself, get in contact with Ryan, get in contact with Carlita. We have to be the helping hand to invite them in, to help them and let them know that we do care, we appreciate them, and on this day we need a lot more days like this, because this one day is just not enough for people that served for years, and went through things. So that's my time.
So did you tell us about your father?
Oh, okay. My dad.
Yeah.
Well, my dad. I'll hold it up. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. He served in the Korean War. He was the last of the Army Air Corps before they split to be the Army and the Air Force. So he went over there. He told us a lot of the destruction and some of the sad stories about how Japan really did damage to Korea. How they took away a lot of their beliefs, took away their, even their language, took their language away. You had to speak their language. And how the families, the Korean families, were so devastated that they were selling their children into war. They were like selling the daughters to the soldiers to marry so that they could, have food. They were selling the sons to the soldiers to like keep their uniforms clean, to clean their guns, to do things like that, run errands and things. So my dad's a man, so he ended up taking up a wife over there, has a son. I don't know if they're alive. We have over the years tried to see if they were alive, but you know, that didn't happen. But yeah, so he came here. He had family here. He's from Alabama, so he came here, and this is where he settled. He worked for Columbia 2 Steel Mill for like 32 years until they shut down. He was a Chicago Heights police officer for like 7 or 8 years, and he left there. And once he retired, that was it for him. He sat and just chilled and watched us grow up and watched my kids grow up and all the kids in the neighborhood grow up. But yeah, that's basically it about him. I probably can write a book, but that's my daddy. And when he passed, this is what they sent him, signed by Barack Obama, because Barack Obama was president at the time. Thanking him for his service. And then, at the cemetery in Elmwood, they do the 21 gun salute. They fold the flag and they hand it to you and all of that. It's real nice. It's emotional. It's emotional. Not only because that's your loved one, but it's emotional to see people in uniform, in unison, saluting and honoring the person that you love, that has transitioned on. So
Right.
I really appreciate and I thank all of our vets, even the ones that didn't make it home. From wars. I appreciate them because they laid their lives on the line for us. They laid their lives on the line, and we now are able to really be free. So I really appreciate. I thank you so much for going over there to Vietnam. You and your twin for going over there and
Yes.
showing us that America matters. Because a lot of countries, they don't give their citizens that right to even care about anything. But you guys went over there and fought for us, and I appreciate you because you hit more than what I do. I fight over here, but I ain't gonna fight over there. I don't know my way around there. I know where I can go hide here. You know what I'm saying? So you're brave, very brave. So I thank you, and I thank all of you all for coming out and just being a part of this because Ryan didn't have to do this. He didn't, but he's such a softie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
And
all right, y'all, that's my time.
Thank
I ain't gonna take
you.
up all this time.
President.
there you go.
He
Oh
lives on
yeah.
153rd and Myrtle. He cuts his grass and the lawn next door to him to make sure that it's presentable and looks nice for our community. So
Yes.
thank you, Mr. Chuck.
Yay! Just a shout out to my neighbors on Ashland, Mr. White, who is a Vietnam vet. He and his wife were not able to be here today, but their yard always looks perfect. I mean, not a blade of grass is out of place. They very proudly told me they were the first black family in 1971 that bought a house on that block on Ashland, and they upheld the high standards of what we expect and what we want to see for our Harvey ever since. So that's also why so that we're can hopefully be inspired by our vets and all the sacrifice that that they've given for us. Well, now it's our turn to do that for Harvey.
Yes.
Because like Chappelle said, hopefully we're not running away from gunshots, but we might have other things that are, it can make our lives very difficult here in Harvey when you're just trying to have a nice community. And for those of you that are outside in Harvey, I'm grateful for your, support and that because a lot of times you don't realize what our residents, experience. So a lot of those folks are not here today, that they can't be, or for whatever reason, but we're here with the Historical Society and other concerned citizens because we want to make Harvey better on behalf of those who cannot speak out, or they're intimidated to speak out, they're afraid, maybe they're working 3 jobs to afford to take care of their families or something, So our job is to give voice to the voiceless and those who deserve a better Harvey, but they might not be able to get out there. So anybody else want to say anything close to their hearts, or we can wrap up. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to take super long. I was just going to sing the national anthem and then call it a...
Yes, because we can sing it because of our freedom and the freedom we want to continue to have.
Yeah. Well, and plus, who doesn't like music? It's fun. So, okay, so we can... Oh, we don't have an American flag.
Pretend that the balloon is a flag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
How about that?
So we'll sing. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Yay! Thanks for coming, everybody.